What up, guys? Welcome back. We got another episode here. 1700 is where we're starting, and we're going to make it all the way up to 1800 in today's episode. Enjoy the games. And we're now in the 1700s. We're a different class of player now. You know, it's all different from here on out. 1700, we start to see the board differently. All right, our setup is the same. H3, King H2, Knight H4. We've seen this all before. Okay, all the moves are pretty systematic at this point. That's a very, very weird move, I would say. Yeah, personally, I find that move to be quite odd. 95. All right. G4 is definitely looking like a good move, or our standard idea of bringing the other knight into F3 to then play G4. All those ideas look pretty nice. Bring this other knight in. Yeah, I'm falling for the bait, huh? I know it looks weird to leave a knight on h4 like this, but there's no way he's playing this move to attack it and trap it. And even if he does, like this, I may be ready to sacrifice. So that's why I'm pretty okay with it. I think I will go for g4 now. Ooh, he's making it so tempting to play f5, g5, sack the knight. I don't know how I refuse this. It's a very nice offer. I think I gotta do it. Like, just out of respect. Out of respect. So if I get my pawn to g5, to me, that's basically winning is what it feels like. So I think I'm just gonna bring this bishop back, play g5, and I gotta be honest, I don't know how black survives this position. Yeah, even bishop c1 would not be a bad move, seriously. But I kind of like this, just pinning the pawn. I don't know, it might get up to something. But really, bishop c1 would have been quite a fine move as well. This looks brutal. This looks brutal. Queen getting out to h5. Yeah, f6. f6 looks too tough to handle. Still got this queen making an appearance on h5. Ugh. Yuck. So, where's the win? Where's the win? Queen h5, obviously. But then where's the mate? Where's the mate? Is it just g6? Queen h5, g6? Looks pretty strong. Also, by the way, rook b1 and rook takes b7 would also be a pretty damn good move as well. Yeah, knight f5, no doubt. If I get the knight into f5, that's fantastic. Knight f5, let's say it gets taken. I'm wondering how to take it back. Probably with the rook. Here I'm thinking about this move. If knight takes, we just win like that. This move, it has to be pawn takes, queen takes, and then like something to g7. That's really all I can see there. So I'm seeing that as pretty much winning on the spot, so I'm going to go for it. Yeah, the reason I want this instead of knight g6 is I actually want my bishop to be able to go to h6 in some lines. So like if something goes to g7, takes, bishop h6 is available, and it wouldn't have been in the other position. So I think that's what I'll be doing. The other move is this. I mean, it's also mate. Everything's mate. I see this as force mate. I also see this as force mate, with rook h6 being unstoppable. So I'll be honest, I think it really is a pick what kind of mate you want to do kind of game. Because yeah, both of them look forced. So let's go for this one. You know, f7's cooler. Sure. Rook h6, unstoppable. It's pretty much only got that. But otherwise this, yeah, the knight can't move, the king can't move, bishop can't move. Nothing else stops rook h6. Queen c1, queen d2, they don't even stop it. The only thing that stops it is queen takes g2. Yeah, well, Rock and Eagle, remember, I'll play knight takes g2. Right? So I don't even give him another check, because I know he's really thirsting for that check. He's not going to get it. Here we go. All right, e4 again. Make sure to play d3 quickly in this one, so you can play knight d2, and you do not allow a queen trade. Okay, interesting setup. Castle. Probably rook e1. And I think in this one we're going to end up going e5. Let's do e5. So yeah, in these setups that come from the French or ones like that, we're almost always going to chuck this pawn forward. This move looks really bad. Looks really wrong. So what I'm going to do, and I already know what I'm going to do, is h4, knight f1, knight h2, knight g4, and just try to get all over these dark squares. That's my plan. If he attacks my pawn, we'll defend it with queen e2, and he can't attack it any more times. So I'm okay. And now the move knight b4, I can just move my knight like I was intending to, and I'll be guarding that pawn. There's also knight c4, knight d6. Like it's another good maneuver. Same with knight e4, but in case you want one that's good no matter what, knight back, knight h2, knight g4. That will always help. I also really like including h5 here. I don't think he wants to take. The bishop wants to go to f4. Just looks like a great looking position. I'm really warming up to the idea of pushing and then going bishop g5. But I'm not sure we need to do it just yet. Let's follow up with knight h2 to g4. So I know this looks a little bit different from some of the main King's Indian attack positions we played, but I've been saying when you face e6 d5, you could get it from a Sicilian where someone plays e6 d5 or just the French. This setup works really well, pushing the pawn pretty quickly and then going for this setup. So he's taken, which is it's a serious decision. It is, because that pawn is probably going to fall. If I move my knight right now, though, it looks like my e-pawn will fall. So I think I'm just going to get my bishop developed. I don't want to like just lose this guy, that's all. I'm really looking at g4 here. Try to get the knight into f6. I think I might try it. Try to open everything. Well, I don't know about this. I don't think I can be convinced that black is okay here. No, I mean, this is not acceptable. That is basically force mate, so knight needs to reach f5, but I feel like I'll be able to always deal with that. Knight g5 and queen h5 is another win waiting to happen. And this bishop cannot be taken for many moves. Knight g5, queen h5 that's the one that hurts. I don't know how to survive this. He's gonna have to find the way, not me. I don't know it. Okay. Queen g5, knight f5, queen h5, h6. And then just like almost bishop h3. Well, let's start with this. I mean, this has to be the move. Knight here, do we care? I have queen g4. Yeah, I don't think that move matters. And if this move happens, queen h5 is still, it's just too quick. So I think he needs to, yeah, so he does this, but isn't this too quick? Isn't this mate? Because if you go here, I take, and you go there, I just mate on h7. So you had to bring the knight there first, so queen h5, then this. But I think it would have been he would have been not long for this world. If he went h6, I was going to play queen h5 anyway. Most likely. I'm just confident that as long as I have a piece that covers that square, like let's say bishop on h3, then queen h6 there is unstoppable. There's nothing to do. So I was probably going to go queen h5 and then go bishop h3 to cover that square, followed by queen h6 and mate. And if you went queen c6 with the bishop there to try to mate me, I was going to go rook e4 to block it. That was my plan. But these are the fun kind of, like, if you get this kind of King's Indian attack, you will enjoy yourself. Like, the ones where you play e5 like this, sometimes the knight's here, sometimes it's on f6. You play e5, like, you go for this plan, h4, reroute the knight. You always have a good time. Unfortunately not their Kansver, because he's going to get mated in 2 moves on f7. So at this point, I think it's just too far gone. Not a bad idea to try to run away, but it just won't work here. GG. Yeah, it's funny. Most of my opponents during this entire speedrun tend to take the most time to calculate when they're mated in 1 move, or it's a forced move or something. And it's a good reminder to everyone watching that that's never how you should spend your time. You always want to invest your time in advance of those things. If you're letting yourself get in a position where you have a forced move and you don't like it, or a mate in 1 and you just don't know how to stop it anymore, then you made a mistake earlier by not seeing that far ahead. It's better to invest your time early to not let that happen, or to at least try to prepare for it, than just wind up there, because then it just means you're not really calculating. Spending your time when you're lost is the mark of a true noob. Like me. I spend time when I'm in a losing position. Should never do that, right? When you're in a losing position, like dead lost, you generally want to be playing quicker because, hey, if it's lost, your opponent's going to beat you anyway. So you may as well play a quick move, and if they can't find the win, then it helps to be up on time. That's the only way you're going to win the game. Time, of course, if you're in a dead loss position. So don't sit there in a dead loss position and waste more time. You're not going to find a brilliant move to save you if you've already evaluated that it's lost. Just admit that, play quickly, and if your opponent finds it, he finds it. There's nothing you can do to stop it. If he doesn't find it, then he'll be in time pressure because you're playing quickly instead of slowly. Let's get it. Okay, King's Indian. A pure King's Indian. I get my setup. I'm happy. Whoa. So the King's Indian works really well against this because the guy wants to put a knight here, and guess what? He's not putting a knight there. It's just not happening. So let's see. I am interested in knight d7 and e5. Let's do that. Let's crack the center open. Go me. Well, this looks like a pawn for me. Yoink. And guess what? We're gonna stick to the same stuff. c6, very important move. You do not want to deal with that knight. You really, really don't. I think let's take this and bring the other knight there. Like, we would just want to get the boys involved, you know? Right, and then that helps the bishop get out. Yes, let's take that. Take that square back, knight e5. Happy to gain some time. Can also attack this pawn by going here, so it's nice. I can make a lot of moves that simply gain time, which is great. Queen h4 also gains time. I like all these moves. This looks like great stuff. Hopefully you guys are admiring my position as much as I am. Okay, all I see is a long-range bishop. About to do some damage. This does not look correct. I'll start by saying that. Knight g4. Yeah, the thing is there's a lot of ways to win the material, so I want to choose the best one. And if I go knight here, takes. If I take this, okay, maybe there's going to be some bishop b2, takes, and there's a knight f6 move coming, right? So what I'm thinking, genius, we start by like this, right? Because we want to get that in. Now if knight takes, or sorry, if bishop takes, I'm going to take it back. So then if the queen takes, I take here, right? Then I take here. And I'm thinking, okay, there's no bishop b2. It's not as scary as before. There's no knight f6. And if you go bishop b2, well, then I go bishop d3. And I get something even better. I get to win a piece instead of winning an exchange. Winning a piece instead of the exchange is always way better. And I can't believe how many times I have to iterate that. I know here it's maybe more obvious. What's going on here? What the heck? I know here maybe it's more obvious because this is just a fork. But the point is, if you, like, here's the most common example. In fact, I'll show you after the game. I have a great example to explain this. For now, let's just take what? What do you want to take? This or this? This, obviously. I have a great example for you guys. And I think that this is still like a very, very common, I don't know, misconception, or like people just always don't understand the value of pieces properly. So let's go here. But a piece is always more valuable than an exchange. For sure. Rook here, rook takes, and rook takes, or queen takes c1. Also h5, h4. Damn, he saw it, but he didn't see this one. Okay. Now, I simply just need an analysis board for this. Yeah, okay, let's do this. Here. Right. So something like this happens a lot, where you're faced with this choice of taking a piece or taking a rook. And even though once I explain it to you, it's extremely simple concept, everyone does the opposite when it comes to an actual game. You see a higher value piece, 5 pieces, and your brain shuts off. You don't even think about the fact that your opponent is going to take your bishop afterwards, and you've gotten 5 points for 3 points. So the math doesn't even check out. But the other part of it is that you get something, but you also give something. And in chess, if you can ever get something and never give something back, that's better. For sure, it's better. In a lot of cases, I would rather win a free knight, totally free for me only. I get a knight, you get nothing, versus winning a queen, but I give you a rook. Because giving a queen for a rook, all of a sudden, there are certain positions in chess where your rook will be better than my queen. Not a lot, a queen is better than a rook, but there are certain chess positions where the rook will be better than the queen. There are some. But there are no chess positions where an extra knight will not just be beneficial. An extra knight is always beneficial. But there are some positions where the imbalance might actually favor your opponent. So why even give that imbalance an opportunity to materialize? Take the free thing, and your position will always be better than your opponent's. You just have an extra thing that they don't have. So whatever position you get, you have an extra piece, boom, it's better. But there are some positions where if I have a rook and you have a queen, hey, my rook might actually be more valuable depending on the position. But it's so typical that you see something for free and you see something where you get something, they get something, and you just like, you know, magnetize towards the higher value thing. When really, there's a free bishop sitting right there. That's 3 points for nothing. That's the best move by a landslide. But everyone plays this. And it's so bad. And the same thing for black. White takes this bishop, and what does black do? Instead of taking the bishop, they take the rook. You guys are all dumbasses. But I mean it seriously. I would rather take like a knight for free than win a queen, but I give up a rook. Maybe it might be like close, but just to make my point, yeah, I really would rather win something totally for free, like a piece, because I know that's enough to win the game. Whereas queen versus rook, it's not always enough to win the game. You think I might be trolling? I'm 100% not. If I can win a knight for free versus a queen for rook, like for example, if I'm starting the game and let's say I'm giving someone odds, like this, if I'm giving someone odds, and you're like, okay, we can do some odds. You give me a rook, and I'll give you a queen, or I'll just give you a knight. Then I don't even want to bother dealing with the fact that queen versus rook might be better for me, but I have to play the whole game out. Dude, if you give me a knight, every single position we play is going to be better for me. It's so much easier to play when you're just up a free piece. I have something you don't have. Every position I play is going to be better for me. All right, let's go here. We almost got an 1800 here. This move, not that, because we want to make sure we get this. No queen trade. So, you know, this might turn into one of the... Remember what we just played? Castle and then e5. So, you guys should be able to tell me what my plans are here in the next 5 or so moves. Because we just had this game. And as soon as I played it, I said, okay, we got our plans lined up. What are they? The next 5 or 6 moves should be pretty easy to make for white. So rook e1. We want to overprotect e5. We know that black's going to develop and attack it. I mean, we understand that. h4. We want this knight to go where? f1, h2, g4. And then when they attack it with 3 things, okay, we defend it. Queen e2. And now they can't attack it any more times. This is the max they can do. Okay, he's doing that. I don't care, dude. I don't care. I'm going over here. Really don't care. And now I get everything I wanted. I get my knights over there. I'm gonna, let's put my bishop on f4, for example. Knight to g4, h5. Get all the stuff I want. And he actually played d4. So he's playing in a very similar way to how it was played previously. Let's get an h5 in there. Knight g4. And we'll see if it's a very similar game to last time. But yeah, this h5 and knight g4, I just think it's a really, really easy attack. And how hard have I had to work so far? Every move I played is basically from the last game. Like I haven't even calculated anything yet. I'm just tossing pieces up the board. All right. Now, I'm wondering about this. Bishop g5 certainly looks enticing. Also, sometimes you don't even have to move the bishop here. Knight f6 check. Bishop takes f6 would be the move, so I'm not too keen on that. h6 can also be played to really force that bishop back. I'm liking this. I'm liking the look at bishop g5. Try to stay on those dark squares. Maybe knight f6 check next. Okay, he takes, which I don't know. I guess I find a little surprising. So I'll give this check. You gotta be careful as black now. Because as soon as I move my knight, like, if you go here, I don't know. I feel like if I move my knight, aren't you almost getting mated here? First of all, this move wins material, but I mean, we're not that interested in that. I think knight d2. It's really hard to imagine black not just losing this game. Queen takes h5, like, there's just no way. Well, at this point, I think the position is sad enough that I can just go queen takes h5. And if I can play this move, I think you already know you're in trouble. Mate with a bishop. Gross. Gross. But it's very easy, honestly speaking. How difficult was this game? I think Dr. Lord Mayonnaise could have played this game. How difficult was this game to play? This move, and then we all literally typed it in chat. Rook e1, h4, swing the knight. You know your bishop wants to get to f4. You know your knight wants to get there, h5. These are all moves that, like, this is all part of the plan. I never actually calculated just about anything. This was all from the previous game as well. It looked the exact same. So I'm just saying, I didn't do that much here. I didn't do that much. I hope that that game doesn't seem out of reach for someone in the chat to play, because this opening, especially when you're playing against things like Karo Khan, French, Sicilian with e6, like Taimanov and Khan, you will get a position that looks like this a lot. You just play e5 and just do all that, and good things will happen. On f6, what's the plan? Take it and play on the dark squares. Take it, and no matter what, the e5 square will be weak, and you can just target that the rest of the game. Here, knight here, knight here, knight here, d4, bishop f4, every single piece, just attack that square. And never capture on e5 with a pawn. Just always put a piece there. Remember, I already talked about this. When there's a weak pawn, control the square in front of it. Someone plays f6, it's like, where's the weak pawn? It's that one. It's a backwards pawn, let's say. Rook here. Control the square in front of it. And for the rest of the game, you might just be piling on that square. All right, let's go e4. The goal is to obviously gain rating, but I'm not really trying to do it as fast as possible. I'm just trying to showcase that the setup that I'm playing, and I'm playing the same stuff every game, can work at every single elo. And as you get better at remembering or memorizing the setups against what, then you can start to use it in your own games pretty easily. So just trying to present an easy to use option that you can start trying in your games. We don't want these queen trades. See you, shirts. Thank you, buddy. Take care. Let's get castled. We want to play our c3 move against that knight. This move is pretty standard for us now. What if he played knight takes e4 there? Then I would take his knight for free, and I would say thank you. I don't really know what he's doing with his pieces here. e5 and knight e4 looks great. That's probably going to be my next... if I go here, he's got to go there. If he goes there, he runs into that. But I think he's got that sussed out. Let's go here. 94. This position could start to look really nasty. Look how many squares this knight has. Like, we can just block his entire everything he's got over there. We can just block out, just forget about them for the rest of the game. This would be really great. I think he's got this one, unfortunately. But I really want to play these moves. Okay, let's start with this. f6 is pretty nasty. This is even nastier though. So this is an example of absolute destruction. So I would say here, like, c5 wins a piece. There's just no way around it. c5 just crushes. But when I see a position like this, my instinct is honestly not to win the piece, but to checkmate the king. So I'm gonna go knight f6 and take with the bishop, because I can just tell by the position the king can't move, that pretty much can't move, all the pieces are over here, that's stuck. There's not a single guy that can help the king. And if I'm just thinking about this logically, like, you know, how do you stop my pieces from just getting over there and delivering mate? And I honestly don't see how. Like, this just looks completely dead. Just checkmate. Like, you can't stop it. When the pieces are, literally all your pieces are on the queen side. I don't even have to calculate this. It's not like I saw this to the end. I was just like, okay, you don't have any pieces that can help. This is mate for sure. I don't need to see the variation to the end. I just know it's mate. It has to be. This guy doesn't deserve to survive the way he's playing that game. Get him out of here. Yeah, the knight on a7, that move was very surprising. I really didn't get that. Knight a6 just to play knight a7. Like, what? I just don't get that. And for us, it's easy. e5, knight e4, like, get the pieces going. Kick his pieces out of their great squares. I mean, this is just like... what are these pieces? They're almost all trapped. Every single one of them. And then here he's got no way to help. He's got no way to help his king. Oh, +7. Ugh. We got 2 more games in us. Okay, let's keep our setup. Whoa, dude, man, guy. He is just sending it. G4. Here, I mean, we can also even go to H5, but I'm actually gonna play H6. I'm gonna invite the G5 move because I'm gonna try to say, hey, I'm not scared. I am, obviously, but I'm gonna say that I'm not. This one. Even D4 is an option. Rook E8, I like in general. E4. Maybe E4. Just full send. Knight E5, bishop G4. Yeah. We're really inviting everything. You don't want to take that, that's for sure. Maybe bishop H5 here. It's kind of a weird square, but it might sit decently. Also, knight takes C3 to start. Yeah, I feel like I do kind of like the bishop sitting on H5. Also, knight E2 looks like a very plausible move that seems to lose material. It's always nice to have some kind of trick up your sleeve. Take this. I think we gotta get rid of it. Very surprised he did that instead of trading. I feel like my bishop's better than his. Just make a threat here. Nothing crazy. Queen e4 can also happen, and it does look like a tempting move. Just to put some pressure. Yeah, you can play rook f1. It's not like I win material outright, but this feels a bit better for black with the 2 bishops. White's pawn structure is also looking pretty shattered. Also, is a5, a4 very tempting here? Kind of looks like it. What happens if we go a5? Yeah, he wants to play maybe knight here. Still, a4. I'm not totally sold on this for him. We could trade the queens, but it's possible just queen e7 is the way to go. I mean, he's got to reckon with my rook and queen and everything, you know, like I'm coming in with some rook a2, some bad business. Takes, rook a2. Am I not making some threats there? Okay, well, let's start like... I guess he could take that, actually. I'm pretty convinced rook a2 is going to nearly lead to mate. or a very, very dangerous attack. So I almost want to play d4 here. Takes on b3, takes on d5. I don't think that's enough. Bishop e5. Playable? Question mark. What do we think about this one? Takes here, I take that, and he ends up pinned at the end. So I don't think he can do that. And okay, if he moves, then let me take this. And I want to play rook a2 and just sack and mate. Where's my mate? Just feels right. He's got queen f7 though. Best. Okay, let's start by kicking the knight out. Knight f3, bishop f4 at least is something. But yeah, I really wanted to okay, so let's give this check. Now, okay, I could take, but I'm also thinking, hey, if I get my queen a6, is that not checkmate? It's just mate if we do that. Oh no, he has knight d4. Okay. Yeah, that's true. We should probably just take it. Play a good move. I was gonna go here, knight d4 and this, and just mate him, but he can take my bishop then. So I think we gotta do this and save our bishops. I mean, they still look kind of pretty, eh? They don't look half bad. I can also kick this knight out. Can I do that? I really want to. Don't tell me you're gonna force me to make a real chess move. Maybe bishop f3? Can't even play bishop f3. Ugh. Ugh. And I can't even mate the guy now. Ugh. This is no fun. Ugh. All right. Gotta take you, and I gotta play with this wretched f6 pawn from hell. Here comes c4. Ugh. We survive this. It's gonna be a miracle. Although, that's not a good way to start. This bishop here, go for rook h8. I think that's what we gotta do. Yeah, this might not be so bad. Okay, c5's not a very good move. Nah, this is tolerable. That is a very good move in general. h5. You don't like to see moves like that. So let's repeat, because a great part about repeating now is we know that you can't. So, oops. The thing is, rook a8 isn't mate here, so I'm not going to get too excited about that. Probably this, and maybe pre-move that, and hope that we make this draw. I think we can do it. Believe. He should play bishop takes if he wants to win. I don't think we can do it. I don't think we can do it, unfortunately. Maybe a little bit more time, I may try to play for a win, but I think that's a little tough. Little tough. Couldn't quite get the win there, maybe with an extra second. Unfortunately for him, like, he just kind of simplified it. Like, dude, heads up, if you're playing someone who's got 13 seconds, keep the queens on the board. Like, it's gonna be way easier to win. So in the end, I think we made the right decision to simplify there. I was a little disturbed that I couldn't get this to work. Yeah, so I wanted to play this. And it's just one of those positions where you look at so many things, it all looks fun. But fun isn't mate. And I didn't see mate. You know, rook here, queen here, right? And what are we doing here? We're trading queens and maybe this move. But then it's like, let's say you trade again. Is it actually mate? I don't think so. If it's not mate, then you risk everything by going too all in like that. So I thought it was a pretty good position. Basically, I wouldn't totally advise going h6, but I was trying to say, look, you can have your full attack, and you know, black always gets counterplay in the center, which I did, and you know, this was a fine game. But white still, like, he still maintained pressure and always kept the open files. And in the end, right, if my attack doesn't materialize and I'm sort of playing too many moves over here, then you can see how it might not work. This was a very good move, by the way. It threatened this pawn, and I can't really go here. So I actually had to just probably lose the pawn, because even e3, there's knight f5. So this move I thought was rather elite. Like queen g2, hits e4, and there's not really anything I can do about knight f5. I probably have to just give the e4 pawn, but that wasn't a decision I made very well, very quickly. Because now what black wants to do is something like this, and just go and do this mate. Not easy to do, but let's say if it did happen, then this is very hard to stop with the bishop covering c1. Yeah, didn't really see like a checkmate or anything. Not easy to break through. Strong defense. Also a lot of pawns, by the way. All I had was the a file. And yeah, what can we say? We're lucky to get a draw. Obviously, it's nice to get that, but there are many ways that I think if he was a little more, I don't know. I think if he wanted the win a little bit more, then he could have gotten it. That's what I think. Is this our last game? Because we could be getting another draw. And a draw, I can tell you guys, is only +1. So even if I draw this game, we're still not 1800. We gotta win it. Not this yet, but d6 to prevent that. Thanks, Amadon, for the 81 months. Tier 3, 81 months from Ireland. Appreciate it, Amadon. He's here for the King's Indian speedrun. Appreciating. Yes. All right, so he's kind of setting up something a little similar, eh? 81 months. Pretty serious stuff. Been around for a while. All right. Sticking to our setup here, I think I might actually take this just to give my bishop some scope. I'm a little surprised by knight takes. Let's put our king here. Yeah, if you're playing King's Indian defense and the position's closed, you should be happy, for sure. You should be in a good mood. Okay. Once again, that c6 move, we're not gonna be dealing with that knight. At least I don't want to be. e7, probably knight e5. And yeah, he could be watching the speedrun. He's playing like it is. This move, probably not quite good enough. Like, this move is well met by b3, I would say, intending d4. If d4, then knight c4, and obviously it pays off, but you gotta assume your opponents are gonna make the good moves. So, maybe b5? Yeah, b5, b4. think rook e8 also makes some sense. It's just kind of that like our opponent is pretty much playing what we play, so there's not a lot to do in positions like this. Just gonna try to trade his strong pieces. Wow, that's quite the move. Bishop d4, eh? Oh, that's a serious little maneuver he just pulled off there. That's impressive. I will, I guess, do this. What the heck is going on? These last couple games, these guys have been like really sweaty. Knight d1 and bishop d4 to c3. That's impressive. Canadians, exactly. You said it best, the Canadians. And actually, if I take here, probably queen c3 and g4 is like quite strong, so I think I have to take this way, even though this is not a great piece. I mean, I'm telling you, the last couple guys we've been playing, these guys are ready to battle. They are ready to battle. You can just tell. I think it's time for maybe a queen g5 move. I'm just bringing my rooks to the center. He's playing the opening that I wanted to play. He stole it. I don't think he's gonna trade these queens. He seems too cultured to do that. Maybe queen a5. Canadian vision. We need to okay, yeah, queen f2. Yep, I'm being taken for a spin cycle here, boys. I can tell you that. When you see a move like queen to f2, you know that the guy's, you know, he's hitting hard and he's hitting heavy. Yeah, queen f2, keeping the queens on, tons of confidence. I'm gonna try d5 here. King's Indian attack versus King's Indian defense. Take with the bishop. Be nice to trade those things. And now at least my knight has some actual useful squares like f5 and e6. Thinking I'm gonna go f5. If he wants to take, I'll be happy to take back. Hello to Chess Tim. This one, okay, we gotta grab that, right? Can't do queen takes, which is nice for me. Knight here. Are things slowly falling apart? Knight here in f4. f4 is definitely a good looking move. Knight g4 though. You gotta be very careful there. Definitely have to be careful there. I think it's good though. Knight g4, knight g3, rook takes rook e2 is something. I'm still not entirely confident in that position, honestly. It feels like a lot. It feels like a tactical struggle because knight takes and knight takes also looks like it should be enough. Because rook takes. This one I didn't think was enough. Hopefully I am not wrong. knight f6, rook e2, and I have queen e3. Look for better. Definitely look for better. It's a g2 angle. Check. Checkmate. Gotta hit him with the knight. Hey man, I've had a rough go. These 1800s are coming at me. I gotta get my revenge somewhere. Gotta get my revenge somehow. Chi-Chi, Omet played a great game. So did the last couple guys. I mean, the last couple games I've played, for sure. These guys played really well. Omet, you know, Nasser, like these guys put some games together. All right, so we hit 1800. We're still going. All right, but I'm gonna wrap up the speed run, guys, for today. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. As always, if you're not subscribed to the channel, you can do so right here. And don't forget to click that bell and turn the post notifications on. And if you're looking for more of the King's Indian speedrun, you can check it out right here. Thanks for watching.